Yeah, all the bright spots starting over there. Ground fog. Oh, let's see. Straight out. It's halfway up those freaking trees. It's all kind of coming from over at the corner of the creek over there. And there's a layer up above in the hayfields. This was covered when I came down, but, right into it and it disappears. And I think Aladino's group is up there. Bam's group, with the exception of Bam and one young cow, are all in. Kind of funny this morning. And, of course, Wally's group, I see 3 of them up there by the swather. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them over there on the other side of the creek. So the rest are probably in waiting to get fed. I usually make my pass through there first, but Traveler was in, and I don't know. I kind of had it figured so it was going to be about 6, but I got a feeling it came in about 4. It's all guessed by golly with it anyway. I don't think I'll be going up or down that road over there today anyway. I don't have to get there anyway. And Bam needs him a change of heart here. He's got his own girls to deal with. He doesn't have to have these young little teenagers. I mean, it's what he's had for the last 4 years, but he doesn't have to have the young little teenagers this year. That's what we got Wally for. Oh well. I gotta decide if I'm gonna go actually move the Traveler or leave it where it's sitting. My plan was to do a quick run across that little 3/4 piece, but with as much water, it's sat there too long. Too much water's come down through there. I don't think that's going to be a good idea. We'll catch that one with the little gun, because I can keep the water off of the road to a point. We can run it up this side and kind of one-side it. Although the big gun, if we ran it right down the middle of that road, we get half that piece over there. And yeah, the way the creek runs through, it just makes it a little difficult, even when we did had lines. I remember having to move pipe across the freaking creek all the time. Pain in the ass. Oh, Bam decided he's going to go in. Maybe that means he'll have breakfast this morning. Yeah, I'm still half hour to an hour early for that, but I'll get there in a little bit. Maybe I'll go feed now. Although, yeah, I'll go feed first. Then I'll come back out and move the Traveler. It'll either be warmer or colder by now. It's like 42 degrees again, so nice warm late June morning. Yeah, heavy dew this morning too. That's enough gabbing, right? I figured it's been a day or two since you got to see the girls fight here. And, standing in the middle of the crowd. Sapphire just snuck in here. 511C. And a few others. Old Chrome Girl there. 111's going to be a sneaky bugger. He likes to come up and see what I'm doing. Not that he gets so close, but... And... Hernia boy back there in the back. He's still looking good. They're all like, why are you not feeding us yet? 618. Who's behind you? 611 back there. See, I'm not that far from them. They get a little closer. 241, would you like some breakfast? Would you like some breakfast? Feed me, she said. Okay, I'll get on that. I guess that's as far as I'm going to go for the moment. I got to go find some tools. I don't necessarily like their tensioner arm on here. It skipped off. Doesn't that look lovely? I got it back to springs off to get it to move, and it's mostly because they got it hooked up there. If I get a chance, I think I got a better idea. There's no reason that arm has to be pivoted off the center. Put it off the frame, then it might hold better. But for right now, I'm going to go get what I need to slack the tension off. Get that popped back over where it needs to be. And I was looking to see if I could figure out where to put a strap or something to hold it over. But unfortunately, there's nothing over here. Unless I go around the corner and hook there. But that's still not a good spot. So, I don't know. Really, it should have a piece it rides against so it isn't all twisted up there. If it had an upright right here, you could just shim it over. It's not like it moves up and down. It just pretty much stays in one spot. Just has to give some slack for the chain. So, yeah, figure this shit out and get it fixed. In the meantime, Orb's way up there now. And let's see, what all else? Oh yeah, coffee cup fell off the front of the bike before I got to the gate where it's parked up there ahead of me. And of course, you know, front tire full of manure and dirt. I had a dirty coffee cup. It's right, I licked it off. It's all good. I planned on having this going by about now. Because, you know, I'm not sure if I'm hitting that 24-hour mark. I need to stand there and watch it for a little bit, see how many feet we're coming in a minute, and go from there. I think it's, I don't know, it's like a foot every 4 minutes or something like that. It's just 24 hours across these. Somewhere in there, hell, I don't remember. That'd be about right though, because, oh, what is it? That's about 800 feet across here, I guess. So, yay. Just one more thing. I figured on having that done. I'm debating on whether I'm going to get batteries or not at the moment. I may fire it up fine later, but they're still down. But as long as we fire the thing up often enough, it'll be fine, right? Yeah. And planned on starting to cut here in another hour or so. Maybe a little longer. It's still pretty heavy dew up here. Well, there's our fix for now. Drill a hole in there so that'd hook. Drill the hole on the side of the tube. I actually wanted to hook that end over here, but I wasn't able to hook the chain over there, so, and it's not much tension to that, but anymore, and it was over too far. So, yay, she's tightening it back up, and that's a long process, because you only get about a quarter or a third of a turn. And a quarter of a turn. See where the jam nut is. She's got a long ways to go. I can't start pulling out until she's done. I mean, I could, but, you know, she'd be a little short on one side. So, that better work for now. If I could figure out how to do it, the better thing here would be a yoke off of this. And then hook the cable at this point. Maybe. I don't know. We'll see. Be better than that thing wearing on out up there all the time, because I don't know how much of that's wear and how much of that was, you know, it was made smaller at the end. I really don't. I don't want to find out the hard way when that sucker goes blink. Well, it stayed on there. Things were making a hell of a racket. Part of it was this hitting the links on the way through, and the other part, there's a bigger sprocket right there, goes up to the gearbox. Yeah, the bushing's out of it. So it was, because this shaft spins with that, and it spins pretty fast. You see all the glittery in there. It's what's left of the bushing, so. And hopefully it don't leak that much now. There we go. That's a little better maybe. Well, maybe not. I still don't like that seal setup. It wasn't leaking that much. Hopefully under some pressure it'll quit. That's only got like 40 pounds, 30 pounds, something like that. And we're spinning a lot better than we were. Because I bumped it up the other day. And now it's cruising pretty good. Uh-oh, that was too much. Yeah, we're back to a fairly good grip. We're not there yet either though. There we go. Pressure will go up now. At least it should. Get better. 90 pounds. Should be doing better than that. And I really don't know where to. Like it a little slower than it's going. Surging 95, 98, something like that. But there it is. Well, neighbor's oats is still green, still growing. It ain't real tall, and you can tell the spots they couldn't plant here, right? They just stopped and talked to the neighbor, told him I'm thinking about cutting, but they threw more rain in the forecast, so.
Very high chance of rain at that.
Yeah, too much of a chance. But that stuff, the heads are coming out right now. It'd be just perfect for Friday, actually. But it's so freaking short, I'm hoping they can drag the ground tight enough to get it cut and get it in the combine. We've been there before and it's no fun. The other neighbors looks like they cut a bunch more hay than I thought they did. They had a bunch of little bales rained on, a bunch of windrows that rained on already. But we're coming up here to check and see what our oats is doing. Get you through her face. We got some growth on it now, which there's some wilds right here on the edge that are really tall. It's not really turning yet, now that we can't see it at all. It looks yellowish, but that's the grass seed heads that are with your grass in it. So, actually down here, some of that is, yeah, the oats is turned down here. I ain't gonna worry about it though. And over here, there's a lot of grass in it, but the oats really ain't turned in it yet. Turned more than I like to see it. Yeah, turned way more than I like to see it. Would rather cut it in the milk stage or before.
It might be combining.
Yeah.
I hate combining this
We'll see.
Be the idea.
We will see. A lot of freaking grass in there. Actually, this side over here doesn't look as bad for grass as usual. It's usually so thick it ain't funny.
Combining some of it's better than
But, yeah, get what we get. Well, here's that big piece that we planted.
It's green.
It's green. A little radish in it. At this stage, I don't know that there's going to be enough there to do anything with. And keep in mind, this was planted right after the neighbor's was.
Unless the rain helps.
I mean, unless we get enough rain to do something, this is going to be a wash like last year was. But same variety, so it'll keep growing. I mean, it's all growing good. It just ain't ankle high. Go figure. Well, here's that newest little piece we picked up. Be 2 years ago now, because we planted this last year. It don't look too bad. The oats looks pretty good.
It's just that damn tree.
Been looking at stuff, and I mean, there's a shitty spot right there, but otherwise it looks pretty good. The piece down here below it does too. Yeah, here.
That place is gonna have any gutters on.
That's kind of fugly in my opinion.
Well, and that roof up here, the snow we get.
Then when you check that line, I mean, if they get 3 feet of good wet snow on top of that, that better be one hell of a support wall under it. But anyway, there's weeds in it, but the oats looks pretty good. And they just leave it to combine. It's kind of looking like most of the oats we're going to leave to combine. Just because we got something to combine. And hopefully we're going to have enough grass hay. I think, well, we should have more than last year, maybe. And this looks pretty good as far as the oats goes. Yeah, it's short over here, but that's expected.
This piece
that little piece needs a little boost anyway. I just got a bunch of annual grass in there. That'll all be dried out and shattered by the time we combine. Well, we don't clean out in the combine. Well, that gets cleaned out when we get her home. And goes through the grinder. And they actually burned some up here. But they didn't push the piles in when they burned them, so they really only burned half of what they had to burn. Crazy. Well, this is that last piece we cut last year. New to us. And the plan was to get some oats planted in it and let the grasses come back. We never got the oats in it. Only got it worked up and smoothed up and cultipacked. There's a bunch of dock out here, but I don't see any tansies so far, so that's a good thing. Looks pretty good. It's a little over waist high on me, so 3.5 feet tall, I suppose. A lot of ryegrass through here and some fescue. A little meadow foxtail right there. Wouldn't mind if the whole thing was meadow foxtail. Makes really good hay. But that's not something I'm going to go buy the seed for and plant, because like 30 years ago, meadow foxtail seed was like $8 or $10 a pound. Because I know a guy who actually had it drown out along the river, which it doesn't generally drown out, but it was underwater for like 3 months. So he ended up having to replant it, and he about fainted when he had to pay for the seed. But anyway, it's pretty thin. Well, it's only, 50 feet that way and 50 feet that way. It's not even a pass wide. It's really thin right here. Not real sure why, but, not bad for what was in an orchard for 30 years. And only getting smoothed up and let go. Pretty heavy over here. Heavy enough it's down. Across the driveway all looks good. So I think we'll get more off this than we did last year. And maybe I'll find some rake parts out here, but I hope we don't find them the hard way. And I'm hoping it's dry down there along the creek. As long as the beaver haven't dammed it up, it should be. But when we get to that point, I got a lot of walking to do down there. Check it before I cut it. I like that little bugger. I really do. Should have had that for the other seat. Here's Becky's seat. This is more of a custom fit than the one for the Honda. It's got the little edge around the back and the front. There's a little deficiency here, but that's because part of the foam was wore off. I shifted it as best I could to even it up. And yeah, I didn't put any glue on it, because the bad thing is, once you put glue on it, unless you get it in the right spot the first time, you're screwed. And I pretty much got that seam right on the edge for the most part. I could have gone a little farther left there, but otherwise it's really good. This one's about as good as it's going to get. And yeah, I know. Oh my God, look at all the staples. Well, if you remember me showing you this, underneath through here, the staples were literally probably that close to each other. And I did throw a couple extras just to keep edges down, like through here, just so it doesn't get caught. I should put one more right there probably. And was able to get tucked under there good enough. I mean, you push in on that to unhook it anyway. You know, I could have taken the bolt out. It's actually, it's got one of them piece of shit little nuts. Pushes on easy, but don't come off easy, so I'd rather not fight that. So there it is. And that little bugger rocks. I only had a couple. That one there's not all the way in. It wasn't the stapler's fault, it was the position I was in. So, now she can have her bike back. And I took the seat off the blue bike that's got the engine tore apart, cleaned it up, and I'm going to go put it on the red bike. And I'm tired of, this one isn't too cluttered yet. It just has, needed stuff in it. The one on the red bike is a little box that Dad had me make out of expanded steel years ago. And it's not very big. The one on the green bike, Ty's got it so full of shit it ain't funny. But, excuse me, I have another one of these. So I'm going to put it on the red bike. Why? Because that little box just ain't enough anymore. So anyway, there you go. I would have showed you, but both hands are kind of busy, and it's like, well, do I have to set up the tripod? But I was moving around because I was moving the chair back and forth. And I would have been out of frame 90% of the time. So, and this is already one of them Canadian length videos. So may as well tell you what Ty's doing. She's charging back rubbers. That's got to get done. I've been thinking about that for a while too. But I am thoroughly impressed. So if you thought about it, and you want one, there it is. I don't know if we got a model on here or not. I don't see no model anywhere. I'm impressed with it. And with the hand stapler, a lot of the staples one side was bending out. Well, it's because when you squeeze the trigger, you move a little. Even though I was putting my thumb on top and physically clamping the parts together, I was just holding this stuff in place and going pop, pop, pop. So there you go. Maybe they'll sponsor me and give Ty Leonard $30 back or whatever it was. But works great. Bear, but a bottle of water. Stuff's over there on top of the buckets, and it took me forever to find that. Then I found it, and if you notice, center of the screen, there's a hole in the bottom. It's also got a couple cracks on the outside, but it's old. Ty thought there was one in the back barn. No, it was an old recycle box. When they used to use boxes for recycling instead of a big, huge can. And they don't hold up well for this kind of stuff. So that'll get put on. It ain't going to get put on tonight. I got to go check the Traveler, and while I'm out there, I'll see if there's any gophers going. And while I'm out there, this video will be editing so that it can get up at a reasonable time. So, thanks for watching. Oh, dang, excuse me. Hope you all had a great hump day. And hope you have a great Thursday. Oh, and Becky's almost done with that book for the baler. Or no, for the tractor. That's what it was. 1,922 pages or something. And that top binder, I got 2 binders I took her. Well, Ty got one of them, I went and got the other. The small one of the 2 is about 1 inch thicker than that binder. The other one's about 1 inch thicker than it, and I'm hoping between the 2 of them, they will hold the stack. Hate to split it up, but yeah, that's what we're gonna have to do. So anyway, and a little change of plans on some of what was discussed when we were checking fields earlier. Weather changed their mind at the moment. Depends on which app and which weather people you listen to. My app only shows a 5% chance of rain for Friday and nothing for the next 10 days. That then shows like 5 to 10% 2 or 3 times. Becky shows about the same. She shows like 27%, I think she said, for Friday. That oat's up here on the hill, starting to turn, and there's enough there. Screw it, I'm going to cut it before it turns anymore. You know, keep it from going to solid seed. So hopefully that's what's going to happen tomorrow.